Gracias. Coffee is ubiquitous for Puerto Rican culture. Coffee culture is so deep here in Puerto Rico, we could have our own dictionary of coffee slang. There's a right phrase for every single brew and style. I'm going to visit the historic coffee plantations of our island to discover the right way to ask for coffee when you visit Puerto Rico. When Puerto Rico is nearby, you can feel it in your soul. The sounds our island makes and the language our people use is distinctly Puerto Rican.
Like hurricane,
meaning that you might be bamboozled. I'm on a journey to understand our slang and discover its origins. Hear our essence, talk the lingo. This is Sounds Like Puerto Rico. We're on our way to Hacienda San Pedro in Jayuya, Puerto Rico. A 2-hour trip from San Juan, Jayuya is nestled between the mountains of La Cordillera Central, wide open terrains, cooler temperatures, and the quiet, gentle sounds of the countryside. These mountains are where Puerto Rican coffee is born. And we are off!
Yes! I know that you are from the north. I don't know if you guys have different names or words for the café bulla or café con leche, cortadito. Do you use another words?
So I know sometimes for bulla, we say levanta muertos.
Ooh.
So let's say waking up the dead.
Have you ever heard about café viví?
I might think it might be a small coffee, maybe a very sweet coffee, but honestly, I don't know what it is.
Me neither, so I think we're going to discover more about that drink. So I think we're here.
I think we're here.
Yes.
Yes. Hi there.
Hola, welcome.
Thank you so much for having us.
Welcome to Hacienda San Pedro.
So we are here, as you might know. We want to know about the slang and the history of coffee in Puerto Rico.
I have to tell you that you are in the perfect place.
Perfect.
Hacienda San Pedro is a fourth generation family business. My great grandfather was the one who started everything, and my dad has been working here for more than 40 years. Here you will see everything. I always call it project from seed to cup because you have the farm. We have the beneficiado, is where the coffee is processed. We have the torrefacción, where the coffee is roasted. And we have the coffee shop, is where you can enjoy a cup of coffee.
So we can't wait to get started to get to know the whole farm Hacienda San Pedro.
Okay, let's go.
Hacienda San Pedro is just one of the many family-owned businesses that cultivate, roast, and package their coffee. Puerto Rico has many plantations and haciendas spread throughout the island. Here, many haciendas welcome visitors for tours and direct coffee consumption, and the amount of coffee shops over 136. So what can you tell us about Jayuya?
Jayuya is a beautiful town in the center of the island. It's surrounded by beautiful mountains.
Why Jayuya is a good place for a coffee plantation?
We have the right altitude, the soil, and the weather. These three factors are very important for the coffee to grow in a healthy way.
So talking about weather, looks like it's starting to rain here in Jayuya.
I think so.
Está medio pocillo ya.
What?
Oh.
So what does medio pocillo mean?
It's a Puerto Rican slang. It means that you are getting tired. But it's true. It's going to rain a lot, so it's better if we can go back to the hacienda.
So let's get back to the hacienda, me
Let's
being
go.
medio pocillo. Jayuya is renowned for the coffee farms that dot the mountainous landscape. Set high in the central mountain range in the middle of Puerto Rico, this town has the perfect properties for producing the coffee we love to enjoy, and rainwater is an essential ingredient. The coffee in Puerto Rico is Arabica type with a flavor profile of mainly chocolate and fruit notes. The island's volcanic soil at an altitude of 2,400 to 3,500 feet above sea level, the growth of plantations in the shade, and the ability to depulp and process coffee by implementing the wet method make this Puerto Rican treat a unique, high-quality standard. No wonder why this water-sprinkled escape resounds a tone of tranquility and beauty unlike any other countryside. The scenery, scents, and the sounds fill my spirit with happiness. But I came here with questions and I need answers. Thank you, Rebecca, for giving us a tour of the coffee hacienda. We know that throughout the island there might be different terms for how you get some coffee at a coffee shop. So what's a pocillo?
Pocillo, it's the name people use here for the cup, and medio pocillo means half of the cup.
So what is a café puya?
Black coffee, but it's without sugar.
So when we talk about a café con leche,
That's very common here.
Yeah, it's very common. It's 1 ounce of espresso with milk, like a latte.
término medio. What does that specifically mean?
Término medio is like, okay, I don't want too strong, but not too light.
Interesting.
Nice. And what about Café BB?
Café BB is a lot of milk and very small amount of espresso.
So it's like a very light coffee.
Very light.
And finally, we heard a lot, what's a cortado or cortadito?
Cortadito means 1 ounce of espresso with a splash of milk.
So it's like the opposite of a Café BB.
Mhm.
So I think we're up for some coffee.
We need to. Café con leche for me.
My journey to Jayuya changed my perspective on coffee. Coffee is not just a drink in Puerto Rico. Coffee is a religion. To unlock coffee's potential, you have to experience its origins and understand its history. The distinct flavors, smooth aromas, and unique textures make every cup a unique experience. No matter the way it ends up in the cup, it never ceases to comfort. Coffee brings people together because it's a knock on the door of your soul. It's home.